Hey, Bruce Naylor here, the Boomer Consumer, and I've been requested on multiple occasions to do a video about what's on my iPad, how I use my iPad, what I use it for, my favorite applications, and so I thought today would be a great day to make this video. So let's get started. First, the iPad is the 11-inch iPad Pro with 64 gigs of storage. So this is the basic iPad Pro, and it does the job for me. And I think you'll see what I really use this thing for is a combination of reading news, watching videos, and productivity. Content consumption more than content creation. And I've organized my applications into various folders on my iPad. I have a productivity folder, news, video, social, utilities, shopping, photos, the Apple applications, music, and finally games, which I do very little, if any, gaming, so to speak, on the iPad. So let's start off with what's in the productivity folder. I have an Office 365 account, so I have Outlook, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Office Lens, OneNote, and OneDrive, as well as Microsoft Sway. So all your Office applications are loaded on there. Apple Mail is also in there, Google Drive. So I have Google Docs, as well as HP Smart Connect, which allows me to print to my HP printer. A calculator that I found online, Apple Keynote, and numbers. So I have a combination of the Office 365, some Google, as well as the Apple applications. I also have Pages, which I really don't use. Of all these, the ones I use the most is Outlook, Excel, and Word. I don't really use PowerPoint that much, or very many of the other applications, but I do use Google Docs quite a bit as well. Moving on to news, I am a news junkie. First and foremost, what's most important to me is the local weather, so I have the Weather Channel. Newsbreak, which is a news app that is more tailored to where you live, and so you can get a lot of your local news stories as well as some national stuff on there, and that's a very good app. Recently installed USA Today. Apple News, I love Apple News. I love the way it's laid out, the way it works. The News Plus articles that are in there, I'm not so crazy about, but it's really about the best news aggregator out there in the business. Fox News, Huffington Post, Google News, CNN, Flipboard, which is one of my favorite apps, and it's also an aggregator of different interests that you might have. Highly recommend Flipboard. BBC News. You notice I have the Weather Channel in here again. It's because I run the older version in addition to the newer one. And then I have iTunes University in there as well, because I don't have an education folder set up just yet. Okay, moving on to video folder. As a YouTube content creator, obviously I use the YouTube Studio. I think most creators use that, keep track of your analytics, etc. Look at comments, comment on those, etc. TV Guide, because my wife and I enjoy a number of television shows, so we like to know what's coming on and when. Of course, I have Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu, the Apple Remote, because I do have an Apple TV, Showtime, HBO Now, Pluto TV, which, by the way, is getting very, very good. It's going to be interesting to see whether that remains free or what's going to happen with that since it was recently acquired. The Movies app, because I have a number of digital movies between Apple and Amazon. Clips, I don't really use. iMovie, I guess I could use it. I haven't really messed around with it too much. And then I have the Roku app as a remote control for my Roku player built into my TCL Series 6 4K TV, which is a wonderful television. I really need to do a video about that sometime. So a lot of different content. I'm not always subscribed to these services simultaneously, but there they all are is what I use. Under social, number one, LinkedIn. And when you're in business or in a profession, it's really a good idea to have a LinkedIn account. Think of it as Facebook for work or for business. Skype, of course, I use that to communicate with some of my employees as well as family members, etc. Facebook pages let you manage your Facebook page. I have one for Frugal Tech on Facebook. Of course, Facebook itself, Twitter, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, FaceTime, of course, that's a wonderful application. FaceTime for video calling on Apple devices. And Reddit. That is what I have under social. The next I have is utilities. And so the settings for the iPad is right there. Ecobee, which is really a nice application. I control my heating and air conditioning system with the Ecobee. Let's get that to come up. And there it is. And that gives me all the information. Setting of the temperature of the house, weather, my stats on heating and air. I can set up different modes for heating and cooling with the quick change menu, get reports on how I'm doing compared to other homes. Just a lot of information on this. The Ecobee Smart Thermostat has really been just awesome. And of course, I have two different sensors to let me know what the different temperatures are in the various rooms. Really nice application. So let's get out of that. Amazon Alexa, because I control my smart lights and smart plugs with Amazon Alexa. Ford Pass, that allows me to unlock my car, and I can remote start it from in the house as well. Google Authenticator, the measuring tool, which I never use on here. I probably should delete that. I do have an account for Kindle. Smart Life also controls some of my smart bulbs, etc. Geekbench 4. As well as the airport utility, because I still use an Apple base station or the Apple Airport, so I can control the configuration of that. Then also the file utilities as well with the iPad, so I have the files, etc. Okay, so then I have a shopping folder. I'm not a big shopping kind of guy, to be honest with you. I buy most of my review products off of Amazon, but we do have a local Kroger store for groceries, so for digital coupons, etc. Kroger application, the Amazon shopping app. This is very good, by the way, the Good RX. I highly recommend that you look into that app if you take prescriptions. Maybe you've got high co-pays or deductibles on different medications. This app has saved us a lot. It was our local pharmacist that recommended Good RX. Check that one out. Of course, I had a couple fast food joints in town, Wendy's, McDonald's. I normally grab us a bag of McDonald's once a week for my wife and I. We call it McDonald's Monday. In my Photos app, I have, of course, the Apple Camera app, Google Photos, which stores my photos for long term, as well as the Apple Photos, Imaging Edge, which is Sony software, and then ISP EVO. What that does is a light meter application that you can point your camera at your light source, and it can tell you what color temperature is set for a white balance, etc. So that's been very, very handy. I actually use that more on the phone than I do on the iPad. Apple apps, just as the name implies, this is where I keep most of the Apple apps that I very seldom use, although I do use the Contacts and Notes and Books app quite a bit. I have a number of books in the, I think it used to be called iBooks. So I will get new books and read it on there. But most of the other apps I really don't use on the iPad. Sometimes voice memos comes in handy, and I do have some things set up in the stock folder or stock application. Okay, let's talk about music. And on here, Apple Music, and I have a subscription to Apple Music. Also have Amazon Music, some Spotify. GarageBand I no longer use, and it still has the icon here and asks me if I want to download it. I'll never use GarageBand on the iPad. I'm not into that particular kind of thing, but nonetheless, Apple Music is really my kind of go-to music source. And this just leaves us with the games folder and the Xbox app. I can go in there and do different things on the Xbox with it. I don't really use it that much, but I have in the past. Tanks is a fun little game that I downloaded here recently. And Mouse for Cats, because I got a couple old cats, and they like to lay on the bed when my wife and I are watching television or whatever, and got this to entertain them. We'll see how that works. Cats. Cat's a cat, right? And that's that. No other applications. That's it. Only one page. I keep it all nice and tidy. And then permanently installed on the dock down here is Messages. My wife uses this from time to time. Google Chrome. I also have Gmail, Google Calendar, my YouTube application on there. These are the main ones that I hit constantly. So they're right there on the dock for me to use when I'm ready to use them. That is it. Maybe Maybe not the most exciting type of thing, but this pretty much tells you, what I use this for. Productivity is a big one because of Outlook, Excel, and Word. I get a lot of email as Excel attachments, Word documents, etc. News gets a lot of use because I am a news junkie. And then finally, video for entertainment. More of a content consumption device rather than I'm creating videos on here or editing music, whatever. Not really. It's more of content consumption. And I think that's what a lot of people use their tablets for, is content. So that's how I have it set up. Hopefully you found this interesting. Of all the apps on here, get GoodRx. That is a find. It has saved me a ton of money. If you know somebody uses medications and needs to save money, it really does work. It is free, absolutely free, and you can save a lot of money with it. Bruce Naylor, the Boomer Consumer. That's what's on my iPad for 2019. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.